Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TimPris Music Show. I'm your host, Tim Ellaby. You're currently listening to the smooth sounds of Detroit's hottest duo, Erogenous, of which I am half of. My co-partner, my front woman, Diamond Davis, is the other half. And this piece is called Sensual City. This piece and the next one, called Welcome Home, are taken from our first CD, The Encounters Project. Encounters Project, yeah. You can find that streaming on all major streaming services and in all major stores and internet radio like iHeartRadio. So if you're enjoying this, give it a listen. Add it to your playlist today. I'm gonna let this play for a minute, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the album that it comes from before I play Welcome Home. Enjoy. Again, that was Sensual City from Detroit's hottest duo, Erogenous. I have a little fondness for my band. Again, it's me and Diamond Davis sharing musical duties. A little bit about the band. We came together really for the Encounters Project. What happened was I had a book I'd written. This is the book. It's called Encounters, and it's an anthology, a sensual anthology of Black erotica. And Diamond had me on her show, the Orgasm Show, which was then live streaming on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And we kind of hit it off. She was reading a little bit of the stories and her voice was smooth as butter. And I said, we should work together on a project. I'll set it to music, and you can do the voiceovers, read the stories. I think I read about 2 of them myself, but she did the majority of the vocals on the CD. And then we have some smooth jazz thrown in, like you just heard with Sensual City. So it's an experience from start to finish, where there's a complete story that's being told. And she put all of that together. I did most of the production work and editing, but the actual story, she arranged the song so that they told a story, a really cool story. So if you're interested, again, the Encounters Project is streaming everywhere. You can find it on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, and in any internet radio station that you can think of. We are there courtesy of DistroKid, our distributor. I'm really, really happy to be working with them. And speaking of, there is some news I'd like to give out. I want to give a big thank you to Nathan Driz for having his company, New Altitude Media, partner with Erogenous as our new branding partner so that we can expand our reach. We have a second CD coming out very soon. It's called Ebb and Flow. We are just about done with it, but we're taking a step back so we can make sure that it's 100% ready. I know it was supposed to be out early July, and we moved it back to the 25th of July. But now it might be early August, only because we want to make sure it's 100%. It's a very special work that we've put together, and we're very proud of it. Don't get us wrong, but we're just as proud of this as we were of the Encounters Project. But this is more special to us because when we first started, which was basically about 1.5 years ago now, Detroit Hot Radio sponsored our then summer series, our first summer series at Burt's Theater. And we did several shows there. We didn't know what we were doing. Nobody knew who we were. And we were singing like classic songs and 80s tunes and cover tunes and things like that. Even threw a little Primus in there. Shake hands with beef. Yeah. So we had a lot of fun. And we decided we wanted to make the summer series an every year thing. We developed a bit of a following, and 1.5 years later, here we are. So this next song is called Welcome Home. It's also from the Encounters Project, and it's an original piece that Tamika wrote just for that project. So I think, no, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, there we go. All right. Push the right buttons, Amathar. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. So this is called Welcome Home, and for those of you who haven't heard, the reason I hired Tamika Davis Shelton in the first place. Enjoy her storytelling. Welcome home.
Hey, come on in. It's so good to see you. Thank you. Well, why don't you come on in? Let me get your coat. Have a seat. I hope the day hasn't been wearing on you too much. You look like you could use a drink. I think I got a little something for you. Let me take your shoes off. Rub your feet. I just want you to relax, baby. Let me get that drink. There you go. Just relax. I've You've got your favorite meal in the oven and it's just staying warm until you feel like eating. I can give it to you now, or we can perhaps work up an appetite together. How's this feel? Am I rubbing too hard? Just trying to get some stress out of you. You work so hard, baby. And I appreciate everything that you do for me. What? You want me to rub your shoulders? Okay, I can do that. First, won't you take your shirt off? Here. Let me help you out with that. There you go. Oh, your skin feels so good to me. It feels so good to be touching you after being gone for so long. I've ached to just have you in my space. I've missed you. My body has missed you. What? Sure, I can get you another drink. Won't you do me a favor? Why don't you meet me in the bathroom and I'll serve it up to you there. I have some candles lit and I thought it might be a nice idea to clean you, you know, head to toe, lather you up, help you out, get you all nice and soapy and steamy hot. And then I want to dry you off. And then, and then.
That was Welcome Home, again from Detroit's hottest duo, Erogenous. And this is the album, The Encounters Project. I reiterate that you can pick that up in all major online stores, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and streaming services on Spotify. Add it to your playlist today. All right. And again, that comes as a result of a book I wrote, Encounters, a sensual anthology of Black erotica. There's me. Tim Ellaby is a writer-musician from Detroit, Michigan, and this is his fourth poetry collection and his second erotic collection. After a years-long hiatus, I have returned to share a brand new collection of Black erotica. Herein lies a collection of short stories and poems that are sure to arouse and tantalize. So pour a glass of wine, run a bubble bath, put on some smooth jazz, and enjoy your erotic adventure. Both are available wherever fine music and books are sold. Mostly Amazon. Yeah, you could do that. All right, so you guys know I love my band. Again, we have our new CD coming out. It's going to be straight house music this time. It's called Ebb and Flow, and it will be out very soon. We'll give you a release date when we know more. Again, I want to give a couple of shout-outs right now. Nathan Driz Johnson over at New Altitude Media, Andrea LB, and Thomas Lohman at Detroit Hot Radio, who have been amazing to us. They actually hired us for the gig at Burt's our first year out, and we have a career now thanks to them. We have a following now thanks to them, so thank all of you guys, and I look forward to continuing to work with all of you. All right, next up I have music from an artist that I produced right here in the studio, Miss Crystal Cummings, Queen C, she is known as professionally. And she is a spoken word artist as well as a really good vocalist. One of the best artists I've ever worked with in studio. She would come in very prepared. I would give her a song one day, just music. She'd write to it and come back the next day ready to record. Her album was done fairly quickly because she was all about her business, and I appreciate so much that she came prepared every single day and brought her A game every single day. She's also the author of a book. Before I play her music, I'm just going to play two cuts from her CD. One is my absolute favorite on the CD, and the other is the very first song I gave her. And she did such a fantastic job. I was like, you must let me produce your whole album. So she did, and I'm grateful. Thank you, Crystal. So her book is called My Crown, Thrown into a Narcissistic Pit. And there's the book right there by Crystal Cummings. I don't know about these mirror images. You know how these iPads is. We're going to have to work that out. But My Crown, Thrown into a Narcissistic Pit. Being in love with a narcissist can create wounds, she says, so deep that at times it feels impossible to heal. The whirlwind of emotions that follows this love will never leave you feeling unstable, insecure, angry, or confused. There is a game at play in the narcissistic mind, one that you do not have to play. The exit from this pit is not easy. How you feel is real, and your value and worth belongs to you. Pay attention to the board. Take back what's rightfully yours, and never play the game again. Crystal Cummings, Queen C. My Crown, Thrown into a Narcissistic Pit. This is that first song that I produced for her. It had been sitting around waiting on her to show up. And she showed up and she showed out. The song is called Water. You're like water to me. Crystal C, Queen C Cummings, Crystal Queen C.
Why do I feel so for you? Why do I feel so? I'm so close to you, yet out of reach, agony to my soul. You are like water to me. Shower me with your love. Water to me. Beauty in your voice, it soothes my soul. I wonder if you're aware. You are my music, my melody. How do I let you know that you are like water to me? Shower me with your love. Water to me. You're my water, baby.
Crystal Queen C Cummings, that was Water. And this is moving into one of my favorite parts of the song when she comes back in. I just let her have free reign and she knocked it out of the park. Wouldn't you agree? Her album is called Gemini Love, and it is available now for streaming and purchase. Again, on Spotify and all major platforms. So check her out. How can I talk tonight? Crystal Cummings. And the album again is called Gemini Love. And don't forget about her book, My Crown, Thrown into a Narcissistic Pit. Crystal Cummings. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed producing it. I enjoyed producing Crystal. She's a wonderful, wonderful artist. And currently at TimPris Music, which is my label, I have two artists. Of course, Erogenous is the flagship artist. This is our second year, moving into our second CD, Ebb and Flow, which I'm super excited about. If you watched the last broadcast, I played a couple of tracks from the album. So if you want to hear what we've been working on as we prepare for the entirety of the release, then go back and watch the last TimPris Music Live, and Erogenous has a few songs on there that you might want to check out. Okay, that's from the new album, Ebb and Flow. The first two I played here tonight were from the Encounters project, so if you want to go back and listen to those, this is more of a smooth jazz project. We were finding our way, and we both determined that we liked house music quite a bit, so that was where we ended up, and we were very, very comfortable there. I was talking to Nathan Johnson over at New Altitude Media and telling him the story of how we came up with the name Ebb and Flow, and it has to do with our friendship, how we moved together to learn to get along and work together and all of that. And I said one day, we have a serious ebb and flow issue. We should call the second album Ebb and Flow, and she thought that was phenomenal, so that's what it is. And again, we are so excited to bring that to you. I cannot wait until it's out because it's going places already. We already have things lined up on the table that are going to excite everybody who is following us, and even new people who are going to be following us. Again, thanks to New Altitude Media for their support, and also Detroit Hot Radio, Texas Hot Radio, and Vegas Hot Radio. We are we are out there with our music. They were really great over at those stations playing the Encounters project, and even Crystal's first single, Water, I sent to them. And I'm very happy with all of our partners. I do want to say, since I'm bringing up Erogenous and Crystal Cummings, that we are contributing to a movie soundtrack. And the movie is called Detroit Cable Connection Part 2. There will be more information about that very soon. The movie will be coming out later this summer. It is written and directed by Terrace Walker, put out by Terrace Walker Films. And I went to ask Terrace, who was a dear friend of mine, if I could do the end credits song. That's it. That's all I wanted. I ended up being in the movie as in a walk-on role, and I ended up playing a doctor in the movie. And after all was said and done. So I hadn't acted in a long, long time. It's a small part, but I'm looking forward to see how I pulled that off, because it was great being on set. I was so fascinated trying to stay in character and everything. It was really fun. So that's coming out. But the reason I bring that up is because even though I wanted Erogenous to just do the end credits, song. Terrace gave TimPris Music full music creative control. So I ended up submitting, I think, 5 songs to him, 2 from Crystal, 1 from Erogenous, 1 from, well, it was a combination rap between Cal Franklin. I wrote the track, and I wrote the hook and the actual music track. Cal wrote the verses, which are fire, and Crystal helped write, I think it was 1 or 2 missing lines from the hook. She filled them in. So we all jumped on that, and people laugh at me because I don't typically do hip hop, but I've let a few people hear it, and let's just say there was a number of young people who were fascinated at how it came out. And I think if you impress the young people, then you have a hit on your hands. But I know working with Cal and Crystal, it was bound to be good. So, and the last track is from a young man named Stephen Robinson out in, I believe they're in Maryland. I have a live stream show on Insight Timer, and one of my followers there named Nat, this was her son, and we connected, and she wanted to have him send some of his music to me, and I listened to it, and I was like, this young man is going places. So I told him he needed to submit a track so I could see if I can get it into the film, and he did, and I had him take care of all the legal stuff, all the paperwork, BMI, and all that stuff. So those 5 songs are submitted for the film, and I'm really excited to really, being in the film is great, don't get me wrong, but growing up listening to John Williams, I just wanted to make music for film. So now TimPris Music is partnered, if you will, with Terrace Walker Films to score future films. I'm putting that out there now, Terrace. And of course, I'll bring everyone under my umbrella with me because I want my entire squad to eat. I do. So this next song is also from Crystal's debut CD. Again, her CD is called Gemini Love, and you can find that streaming everywhere and for sale everywhere. And this is my favorite song. It's called Imagination. This is my favorite song on her album that I didn't write. She wrote this one.
I just wish we could be who we want to be. I wish we didn't have to hide this love we have for each other. You know, 'cause our situations aren't right. I just wish it was real. I wish everyone could see what we have in our imagination. There's an atmosphere between us, restrictions for our desires, gravity taking us back to our situation, but never to be taken is our imagination, but never to be taken is our imagination. A world with you and I together as one. A life where opinions are equivalent to none. Running to no you're around as consolation resides in our midst, an unattainable feeling to avoid inclination for our love with limitations between us, but never to be taken is our imagination, and never to be taken is our imagination. No one can take the imagination of what we want our love to be, what we hope for into existence, that one day can be transparent for everyone to see. But right now, it's just our imagination.
And that was Imagination from Crystal Cummings. Her debut album was produced by yours truly, right here at TimPris Music, and it is called Gemini Love. It's out now. Just to reiterate what we have played this evening, the first two tracks were from the Encounters project by Erogenous, Detroit's hottest duo. And they were Sensual City and Welcome Home, with voice work by Diamond Davis, my amazing partner. And based on the book, Encounters, written by me. That's Tim Ellerby. You can find this book on Amazon.com. And I guarantee you, you'll have a fine night. You should get both. You should get the CD and the book. And then send the kids to grandma's house. Okay. Crystal's book is called My Crown, Thrown into a Narcissistic Pit. It chronicles her story through poetry of what she went through to escape her narcissist. And that is also available wherever fine books are sold. And again, her debut CD is called Gemini Love. So be sure to check out all of this great music. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments and I will get back to each one of you, because I love answering messages and mails and all of that fun stuff. If this is your first time here, I invite you to follow me here on YouTube. This is the TimPris Music Media Channel, the home of Erogenous, Detroit's hottest duo, and every other artist that TimPris gets their claws into. Tamika Davis Shelton is my bandmate and production partner, and we are coming out with some cool things. Our sophomore album, Ebb and Flow, is coming up next, followed almost immediately by the soundtrack of various artists for the Detroit Cable Connection 2, which is written and directed by Terrace Walker and released by Terrace Walker Films. So thank you all for coming to the TimPris Music Show tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Now we're going to do this one. Let's do that.